Nezuko is a really powerful demon, but what would happen if she fought the 12 Kizuki? Which demons could she beat and which demons would completely annihilate her? For our first battle, Nezuko goes up against the lower moon 6 Kyogai. Now, listen, I know Kyogai got stripped of this title for being incredibly weak, but considering the fact that we know nothing about the abilities of his replacement since Muzan decided to go full-on cleaning service with the lower moons, Kyogai is the closest thing we have to a proper lower moon 6. For starters, Kyogai is much weaker than Nezuko, and wouldn't really stand a chance in a one-on-one battle. However, he does have two crazy weapons that might actually give him an advantage: his mansions and his drums. See, thanks to these weapons, Kyogai is able to fully maximize the extent of his blood demon arts, allowing him to teleport himself or other people to any part of the mansion and even swirling rooms at frightening speeds by simply drumming. While these abilities might allow him to land a few hits on Nezuko, her super fast regeneration alongside her insane blood demon arts would ultimately give her the win. Okay, that was a pretty easy win for Nezuko. But what would happen if she fought Rui, the lower moon 5 demon? For starters, Nezuko would be at a huge disadvantage, because while she's much stronger and faster than Rui, she doesn't have the same level of skills, battle IQ, and experience that Rui has. See, Rui has been a demon for over 20 years, and despite being a young demon, he was stated by Muzan to be much more skilled than the lower moon 1 and 2 demons. Not to mention, his blood demon art, thread manipulation, is way too overpowered. With this ability, Rui can create extremely durable and sharp thin threads that can cut through Nichirin swords from his fingertips, and is even capable of amplifying their durability by infusing his blood inside them. However, despite how powerful Rui's demon art is, he would still lose to Nezuko because thanks to Nezuko's amazing blood control, she is able to control her limbs and head by congealing and solidifying her blood, making whip attacks useless against her. Not to mention, her blood demon art, Exploding Blood, allows her to combust her blood into pink-colored flames that can stop the regeneration of other demons and cause serious damage. Unfortunately, Rui has no way of dealing with Nezuko's flames, so we will hand Nezuko the win. So far, Nezuko has already defeated 2 lower moons, and for the next matchup, she will be going up against the lower moon 2 demon, Haido. For those of you who don't know who he is, he's the main villain in the one-shot manga Rengoku Kyojuro Gaiden, and he is crazy strong. Even an inexperienced Rengoku had issues fighting him. His blood demon arts, Umbra Kinesis, allows him to create multiple shadow wolves from his blood, which he can use to absorb any physical attack thrown at him. These wolves can also store a large amount of weapons like guns and swords, which he can fully utilize in battle. Combined with his amazing swordsmanship skills, he becomes a very deadly demon to go up against. While Haido is a really powerful demon, Nezuko does have yet another amazing ability in her arsenal called Berserk State. In this state, Nezuko fully transforms to her adult self, giving her a significant boost in both strength, speed, and regenerative abilities. While Haido would put up a good fight, Nezuko would come out on top as her power level is way above Haido, meaning in a one-on-one battle, Haido loses to Berserk State Nezuko. This leads us to our next matchup, Nezuko versus a lower demon 1 Enmu. And things wouldn't end so well for Enmu as he is at a massive disadvantage against Nezuko. See, Nezuko mostly specializes in combat skills, something Enmu isn't so good at. However, his deadly blood demon arts makes up for his lack of combat skills. See, Enmu's blood demon arts sleep inducement grants him the ability to force anyone into a deep sleep. He can even manipulate and control their dreams, giving them joyous dreams that would make them invulnerable and unable to tell the difference from reality. However, despite how powerful this ability is, it really isn't perfect as one can always resist its effects through amazing willpower, something Nezuko 100% has. Meaning, if Enmu ever decides to pull this move off, Nezuko could easily break free, completely outclassing him in both speed and strength, earning her the win. So far, Nezuko has defeated every lower moon, and from here on out, things are about to get even crazier, cause Nezuko will be going up against the upper moons, and they are in a completely different league. Does Nezuko stand a chance against any of them? Or is this the beginning of her losing streak? Unfortunately for Nezuko, her win streak might be coming to an end as she will be facing the former upper moon 6 Gyutaro. First things first, we have to talk about how strong Gyutaro really is, cause during his lifetime, he has defeated a total of 15 Hashiras. Crazy! I know. What is even crazier is his blood demon art's blood manipulation. This ability allows Gyutaro to turn the blood from any part of his body into a weapon, but it doesn't stop there, as he can always infuse his weapons with deadly poisons. However, this would be useless against Nezuko, as Nezuko's exploding blood technique makes her immune to poisons. While Nezuko would put up a good fight, sadly, the power difference between her and Gyutaro is way too large, mostly due to Gyutaro's 100 years battle experience. Meaning, in a one-on-one battle, Gyutaro would come out on top, making it one loss for Nezuko. Now Nezuko's next matchup is against the current Upper Moon 6 Kaigaku, and right from the bat, Nezuko is in serious trouble. Despite being a young and inexperienced demon, Kaigaku is an expert swordsman who has mastered total concentration breathing and thunder breathing. Not to mention, his blood demon art's electrokinesis allows him to generate and manipulate black-colored lightning and electricity, making him literally untouchable. Combined with his full mastery of thunder breathing, it is pretty safe to say that Nezuko wouldn't stand a chance. Meaning, of the 8 Upper Moons, Nezuko has lost to 2. And coming up next is the Upper Moon 5 demon, Gyoko. And things are about to get a bit weird. Gyoko might not look as strong and intimidating as Gyutaro or the other Upper Moons, since he literally lost to a 14-year-old. However, he's still a very powerful demon, who can use his blood demon arts to create multiple pots of various sizes. While these pots might not seem like much, Gyoko is able to use them to freely teleport from one place to another instantaneously. Not to mention, he can summon large octopus tentacles from his pots, which he can use to restrain his enemies and destroy his surroundings. While Nezuko's blood demon arts would be a great counter against Gyoko's abilities and might hand her the win, it wouldn't activate because of a major weakness. For Nezuko to activate her blood demon arts, her blood must be spilled on whatever object or person she wants to use her ability on. This would give Gyoko the upper hand, as he has so many long-range attacks in his arsenal that he can use to keep himself away from Nezuko. Meaning, in a one-on-one battle, Gyoko would come out on top. This leaves Nezuko with a total of 3 losses and 0 wins against the Upper Moons. And for our next matchup, she will be facing the current Upper Moon 4 demon, Nakime. Nezuko might actually stand a chance here. Nakime is way weaker and slower than Nezuko and would get destroyed in a one-on-one battle. However, if their battle happens in the Infinity Castle, things would take a very interesting turn, cause Nakime's blood demon arts allows her to control every room in the Infinity Castle, allowing her to put whoever she pleases in an endless loop, even going as far as creating gigantic pillars that she can use to crush her opponents. While this ability would be really useful, they aren't enough to damage Nezuko permanently, and since Nezuko can't actually touch or hurt Nakime, this battle would most likely end in a draw. And from the weaker Upper Moon 4 demon to the stronger Upper Moon 4 demon, who would win between Hantengu and Nezuko? Hantengu's base form is much weaker than Nezuko. However, he has 2 extra forms that make him OP, which are his clone forms and his final demon form. While Nezuko would have no problem defeating his base form, things would get a lot harder once she reaches his clone forms. In this form, Hantengu uses his blood demon arts to split into 4 clones, each with crazy powers, and from what we saw in the Swordsman Village arc, Nezuko could only overpower one of the clones. So it would be almost impossible for her to take all 4 of them at once. But if she does manage to pull this off, Hantengu could easily combine his clones together to form a very powerful demon called Zohakten. Nezuko wouldn't stand a chance, meaning in a one-on-one battle, Nezuko would lose to the former Upper Moon 4. Before we cover what would happen if Nezuko fought the strongest Upper Moon, Kokushibo, let's quickly talk about what would happen if she fought Akaza, the Upper Moon 3 demon. Surprisingly, Nezuko might actually have a shot at success. While Nezuko is an amazing fighter, Akaza is an expert in hand-to-hand combat, as he was once a martial artist. Not to mention, he is an extremely powerful demon, having killed a total of 57 Hashiras during his lifetime. The power level between Akaza and Nezuko is incredibly large. Nezuko might have a secret weapon. Nezuko always seems to grow stronger the more she fights stronger opponents, and this is evident in her battle against Susamaru and Daki, where she started off weaker and ended up getting stronger, enough to rival them both in strength. This would allow Nezuko to go blow for blow with Akaza. Akaza would still be the victor in this matchup. Despite being stronger, Akaza doesn't fight girls, which means Akaza would just give up and leave the battle before it even starts, giving Nezuko the win. Up next on our list is Doma, the Upper Moon 2 demon. Doma, despite being a powerful demon, often toys with his opponents. This would be a great opportunity for Nezuko, as she can always land a few hits on him. However, if he ever decides to take things seriously, Nezuko would get demolished. Doma has a lot of insane abilities like cryokinesis, which allows him to generate ice and frost from his flesh and blood, allowing him to unleash potent ice techniques. He can even create ice clones of himself. Unfortunately for Nezuko, Doma is just way too powerful, meaning in a one-on-one battle, Nezuko would lose. This leaves Nezuko with a total of 1 win, 1 draw, and 5 losses. For the final matchup, Nezuko would be going up against the Upper Moon 1 Kokushibo, and unlike every other Upper Moon, Kokushibo is in a whole different league. Having close to 1,000 years of battle experience, he has trained himself to the absolute limit and has slaughtered countless Hashiras. Due to him being a demon slayer before turning into a demon, he is a complete master of total concentration breathing, and has an awakened Demon Slayer mark, which gives him access to the transparent world ability. Not to mention, his moon breathing technique is one of the strongest breathing techniques in history. While Nezuko would put up a good fight, sadly, a single strike from Kokushibo would end the fight immediately, leaving Nezuko with yet another loss against the Upper Moon. Man, the Upper Moons are crazy strong! But do you want to see something even crazier? Then check out this video! Go on, click it!